So I did stand-up comedy again tonight for the first time in probably about 2 months, and it went really well. I had a great time. I enjoyed it, and I got laughs, and the material landed nicely most of the time. Got a good amount of laughs from the audience. Had people coming up to me afterwards saying I did really well and saying I should keep going and everything else. And yeah, it was a really fun night. I really enjoyed myself, and more than anything else, I noticed that I managed to loosen up quite a lot more on stage, more than I usually manage, I think. And I think it's usually when I'm determined not to go out and make people laugh that I'm the most successful at making people laugh. I think when I'm most successful at making people laugh is when I'm just going into it with no expectations at all and just being totally loose and just determined to have fun above everything else. And because that's what stand-up comedy's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable for the performer and for the audience, I think. And I think that's why we get into it in the first place. Obviously, something like stand-up comedy, we get into it because we just want to have a damn good time. We want to have a good time, enjoy our lives, and do something enjoyable in life, and hopefully it'll make money one day. And that's really why we're doing it, I think. And I think too often in life, I've kind of lost sight of really why I was doing it in the first place, and I've got so hung up on the ideas of, oh, I'm not really getting anywhere with this. I'm not really making any money, or like I'm not really getting the gigs that I want to get, or oh my god, I'm still an open micer, and so on and so forth, and I really wasn't putting myself forward for all that many gigs in the first place, and that's another reason why I haven't attained that sort of success yet. I think also because yeah, I don't really sort of go out hunting for gigs all that much. But putting that aside, I think like the recipe for success in really any kind of creative endeavor is just to enjoy it for goodness sake, and to do something because you're trying to spread joy among other people. You're trying to get other people to laugh or whatever it is, and you just want people to read something you've written, or see a painting that you've painted, or a song that you've written, and it inspires joy in others. And that's really why we want to do it. And if you're not having joy, if you're not enjoying yourself up there, the audience probably isn't going to enjoy it either. And I think the big problem is that we're poisoned by the education system. Since the age of about 5 years old, we're thrust into school, and we're told to work hard and achieve and succeed, and you must work hard in order to achieve and succeed, and you must go to the best university, and you must get the best profession, and you must be better than your peers, and so on and so forth, and you must be the best ever, and all this nonsense that we're really indoctrinated with in school. And then you come out of school, and you say you want to pursue a creative profession like stand-up comedy, and you're thrown into that, and the instinct that you've been trained to that's been trained into you tells you to work hard at these things, whereas the really counterintuitive recipe for success with those things is to not try and not work hard at all, and to expend no effort, and to make it look effortless. And that's really what impresses people about comedians and writers and so on, is how easy they make it look. And really, when you're doing your best work, it feels like you're putting in no effort whatsoever, and it's just bubbling out of you. And that's really the place you need to try and get to if you're going to be a creative type. And the school system, it does work well, I have to say, and the work hard mentality does work well for like training doctors and lawyers and engineers, and people of real responsibility in the world. I don't want a lazy doctor. I want my doctor to work hard. You know what I mean? I want my lawyer to work hard. I don't want my comedian to work hard, though, necessarily. Yeah, I want my comedian to be a lazy bum who's an alcoholic, drug addict, someone who's living on the fringes of society, has got mad opinions and says crazy, ridiculous shit. That's what I want my comedian to be. I don't want my doctor to be like that necessarily, though. I don't want someone doing surgery on me who's like that. But you know, the what happens to you at school as a creative type is it always makes you resent authority, and it always makes you rebel against authority if creativity is really within you, because it does not get nurtured in schools, not really. And we need to find our way out of that trap, I think, that the trap of the work hard mentality as creatives. And well, I think actually even this not trying business, this applies to every profession really. And I was kind of wrong about what I said about doctors. I want my doctor to be effective more than anything else. But that can mean very often putting in less effort in the moment to try and save energy and to try and keep the momentum going and staying within the flow state. And that's really more like what I mean. And it's this idea of not expending effort unnecessarily, of working smarter, not harder, all this stuff, the backwards law, where Navy SEALs have their hands cuffed behind their backs and they're chucked into a swimming pool and they got to relax their whole bodies so they float to the bottom of the pool so they can push up with their legs from the bottom of the pool so they don't drown. And all that is more like the real mechanisms by which we can attain success in certain activities, or really in any activity, I think. And yeah, it's particularly pertinent in the creative professions, I think. And always when we're, I think, trying too hard, very often, and in life as well, just in ordinary life, when we're trying too hard, we push people away from ourselves if we're trying, for instance, too hard to get laid. That's the number one reason why people can't get laid, because they try too fucking hard for it. They pursue sex with, such a single-minded, obsessive, calculating nature that they can't see that that's the biggest turn off about them. So people like that, people who read all these dating guides and whatnot, they never get laid, and so on. And I've been guilty of that myself, even. Wanting a girlfriend too much, for instance, and never getting one. And I think I've learned now more in life that rather than working hard and putting all of our effort into trying to achieve our goals or whatever we think our goals is, I think the more we try to focus on what we enjoy and what makes us happy and joyful and enlightens us and makes us more connected to the world and to other people, I think that's the sort of stuff we need to foster in ourselves and to really get on the path back towards our joy. And finding that again is incredibly liberating, because then we don't need to put in all this ridiculous effort. We can just have the thing that we enjoy and do it all the time, and yeah, maybe we can get successful that way even, and have fun at the same time. And then the world becomes a sort of movable feast whereby we're just floating through life, accepting that, yeah, material success hasn't happened yet and fame hasn't happened yet or something, but god damn it, we're enjoying what we're motherfucking doing. So we continue with it and get better at it. And it becomes so much easier once we just focus on that basic principle of going after what we enjoy and just trying to have fun. and then everything falls into place. And then we start getting laughs on stage as comedians. Then people start liking our paintings. Then people want to read our poetry because we wrote something that we would enjoy reading, for instance. Yeah, like the best stuff I've written is always like that. It always just comes bubbling out of me when I it could happen at any time, really. And I'm intensely focused on bringing this project into life for a short amount of time. And then I realize I've written something wonderful that I really enjoy and that other people really enjoy. So that's the basic element of the creative life, I think. We must enjoy ourselves while living it. We must find joy in what we're doing. Otherwise, you waste your life. Otherwise, you just go through these humongous, this huge toil towards nothing but more toil, more joyless, pitiless efforts expended because we believed that if we work motherfucking hard, we will be successful. However, that is not the truth. There's a lot of people out there who are very, very successful who don't try very hard at all. And that's a hard and bitter pill to swallow for a lot of people, but it's the truth. So, we just gotta do with that information what we will. And I think I've roughly made my point. So I'm going to try and wrap this video up now and just say, have fun with your life. Don't waste your life with all this effort. My God, no. Enjoy yourselves. Above all, have a damn good time. And I'll see you soon.